Hey guys, welcome back to my OOTP series with the Seattle Mariners. We finished the year 92-70 and we captured the second wildcard spot. I tried to make a September episode, but the file got corrupted. So I'm just going to give a bit of an overview about what happened, and then we will be taking on the Tampa Bay Rays in the wildcard game. We'll also take a look at their team in just a second. This year we were 5th in runs scored and we were 3rd in runs against, so definitely a very good season. If we take a look at our Pythagorean win-loss, we are right where we should have been. It's great to see that we're in the postseason, but it's going to be a big step if we can get into the ALDS. In terms of our hitting, it was Rafael Devers leading the way. 28 home runs, 117 RBIs, hit 290 over 290. AJ Pollock had a good year. Tony Kemp had a good year. Zunino had a good year. Urena had a good year. And then everyone else was kind of okay. Josh Naylor did finish with 35 home runs and 100 RBIs. So that's a great first step for someone that's 22 years old. And we'll see what he can do next season. In terms of our pitching rotation, Kershaw ended with a 3 ERA. He was absolutely dominant most of the season. And then you can see this month of September, the start before this one, he also gave up 5 runs. So just, a string of really bad starts right in a row. He actually did throw a no-hitter right before that, though. After that, he threw a complete game shutout and then 7 innings, 2 runs. You'll notice that he is mostly rested. He is going to get the ball for the wild card game. It was a bit controversial, I think, that I chose to pitch him 4 days ago. But back then, we were sort of in the thick of it in this division race. We lost the last game to the Oakland Athletics. It was a thriller, 5-6 in 10 innings. We gave up 3 runs in the 9th and then a run in the 10th, so just a collapse there. It ended up not mattering because the Astros did win that game, but certainly a tight race. I thought it was important to throw Kershaw that game. I also thought this wildcard game might be a day or two later than it actually was, but he is available for this game and he will be on the mound. Unfortunately, some of our other options, like Darvish, he has a herniated disc and is out 6 days. Hernandez has 2 day-to-day injuries, one of which moderately affects the throwing. Paxton has an oblique strain, so he's out for 4 days. So really the option is we can go with Jose De Leon or Kershaw. And although De Leon has definitely been doing a lot better as of late, I decided it would be best to go with Clayton Kershaw. So if we take a look at the Tampa Bay Rays, they were 7th in runs scored and 2nd in runs against. If you take a look at their Pythagorean win-loss record, they were a little bit lucky this year, but definitely a solid team. And it's certainly always going to be difficult when you're up against someone like Blake Snell. He was very good in September, finished with an ERA of 2.56. I would not be surprised if he wins the Cy Young. Otherwise, in terms of their pitching rotation, they've got a few decent options. In terms of their hitting, they've got this guy Joshua Lowe. Well, I don't know where he came from, but certainly had a good year this year. Otherwise, Mitch Haniger had a pretty good season. Kevin Kiermaier will not be back for this series. He apparently has back stiffness, so that might turn out to be a big deal. He's obviously very good defensively. Longoria had 30 home runs. Justin Williams had a pretty good year. But if you look at their offense, I mean, it's certainly not bad, but it's nothing where you go like, wow, like they are a ridiculous team and it's going to be really tough. I think certainly their biggest asset is going to be Blake Snell. If we take a look at the playoff picture, it's going to be us and the Rays, and then whoever wins is going to face the Red Sox in the next series. The Indians are going to face the Astros, and then you can see the National League playoff picture as well. All right, so let's get this game started. It's Kershaw versus Snell. If you notice, we've got a lot of left-handed batters in our order. People like Devers or Naylor, obviously we're not going to take out. I think the only one I'm going to switch is Kyle Waldrop. Sort of the reasoning for that is he did not have a great season. He's definitely worse versus lefties. And Jesus Aguilar, I took a look at his splits. He actually did very, very well against left-handers. So I think that's who's going to get the start, at least in this game. Here we are, technically in the postseason, trying to get our way to the American League Divisional Series. We start off, Tony Kemp is at second base with nobody out. Devers is at the plate 2-2, and that's a ground ball to first. He will get the out, but on to third goes Kemp. And so now it'll be Josh Naylor at the plate. He's got a 3-1 count, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. I don't think it's going to be deep enough, and in fact, looks like the second baseman who is going to catch that one. So that's going to bring up Pollock with 2 down with a 1-2 count. Snell strikes him out, and the runner is stranded at third base. Definitely a disappointing start there. Now Kershaw on the mound, he gets through the top of the first, through 2, So far, a pitcher's duel. You can see through 3 innings, no hits for either team. But in this inning, we get 2 hits. Josh Naylor's on third base. Wilmer Flores is at first. Richard Urena up at the plate. A 1-2 count, and he strikes out. And the Rays get out of the jam. Blake Snell with 4 shutout innings so far. Kershaw gets through the 4th. He's still pitching. That's now 4 shutout innings for Kershaw. He's only thrown 35 pitches, so that is a good sign. So we're getting to the 5th. I think we're going to start going batter by batter here. Zunino, he's going to strike out. All right, I think we'll do runners in scoring position. Nothing there. So unfortunately, 2 outs, and the Rays have a runner at second base in Mitch Haniger. 0-1 to Andy Ibanez, and he hits one into right field, and that's going to get down, but the runner will not score. That is surprising that they do not send him, but it is first and third, 2 outs in the inning. I don't think I want to change any defensive alignments. We're just going to pitch to Willie Adams here. 1-2 is the count. Here is the pitch from Kershaw, and that's a fly ball to left field, and it will be caught, so the inning is over. The catch by Kemp there. 5 shutout innings for Kershaw so far. A little bit nerve-wracking there. Right now he's sitting at 51 pitches, so he's certainly going to stay in there for now. So we are now through 6 here in the 7th inning. I think now is where we're going to start going batter by batter. Still nothing so far, and Flores flips one out into right center field, but it is going to be caught for the first out of the inning. Kershaw is sitting at 71 pitches. I think we'll start warming someone up as he goes out for the next inning, but I'm certainly, he's going to have a bit of a leash, that's for sure. Urena with a 3-1 count now. Snell, and that's going to be ball 4. Urena has some speed, but I don't think we're going to be running here. So that's going to bring up Zunino. 1-2 is the count, and he strikes out. And do we want to have Aguilar hit? He is 0 for 2 so far. I think we're going to have him hit. It's going to be 0-2, and he flips one out to center, and that's a base hit. And so Urena moves up to second base, and that was going to bring up Ben Gamble. He has not hit very well this season. You can see he hit .247, only 7 home runs. I don't know that there's anyone to go to. We could go to Waldrop, but, maybe Motter. Motter did not hit that great this year either. I think I just want to keep the defensive alignment as it stands. So Ben Gamble gets a chance to hit 1-1 the count. That's a fly ball left field, and it's just right at the left fielder. Hit hard. But the inning is over, and this is not, I don't like the looks of this. So if we take a look at our bullpen, this is one thing that clearly I messed up on. It is completely right-handers. There are no left-handers in this bullpen. In terms of who to go to, let's just take a look at how people did this season. We've got Baez, Coda Glover. He pitched well. I think maybe that's who we start warming up here. So Coda Glover is going to start warming up as Kershaw takes the mound here in the 7th. A 1-1 count on Justin Williams, and that's a base hit. So a man on first base here. We're going to pitch to Victor, and he's going to flip one out to right field, but it's going to be caught. So that's the first out of the inning as Pollock makes the catch. Mitch Haniger is the next batter. I should actually put this into double play depth as we throw the pitch here, and it's going to be 0-1 is the count. Ground ball to second. Are they going to get a double play onto second? And they will not. It's going to be a fielder's choice. And so that's going to bring up Andy Ibanez with 2 outs, a man on first base. We are definitely going to pitch to Ibanez here. 3-2 is the count. And that is a walk. So here's where it gets tricky here. Kershaw. 83 pitches. Obviously, he's on short rest. Otherwise, I would obviously keep him in. Coda Glover, not quite ready. We're definitely going to do a mound visit. Kershaw says, obviously, it's your call, but he can still pitch. All right, so I might get a lot of flack for this. I think I am going to take out Clayton Kershaw. Last inning, he did not do well, and this inning, he's not doing well. I think it's just time. We're going to bring in a fresh arm. Willie Adams hits better against lefties. I think it's going to be time to turn it over to Coda Glover. Oh, this is so tough, though. 0-2 is the count. Willie Adams. Okay, great. Yeah, I know he has great stats. It doesn't matter. It's just what he does here. He strikes out. The inning is over. Through 7, it is still nothing. Wow. So Glover will start next inning, and I think we're going to be warming up Pedro Baez. So Kemp will lead it off here in the 8th, a 3-1 count. Alex Colomé is now in the game, so Snell has been taken out. And that's going to be a lead-off walk for Kemp, and that's going to bring up the core of our batting order here. And Devers to third. He swung on a 3-1 count. It's going to be a fielder's choice. At least it was not a double play. All right, so with one out, it'll be Josh Naylor at the plate, a 2-0 count. And that ball is ripped to center field, but it is right at the center fielder. So 2 outs now, and that's going to bring up A.J. Pollock. Obviously, Devers has some speed, but I don't think we're going to run here. 1-1, and that's going to be a pass ball, so Devers is going to get to second anyway. So a runner in scoring position with 2 outs now. 1-2 is the count, though, and he's going to strike out to end the inning. It's still 0-0. We've got Pedro Baez in the bullpen in case things go awry here with Koda Glover. A 1-1 count to start, and that's a fly ball deep to center field, way back, and it's going to be off the wall. It's going to be a double. He thought about going to third. He did not go to third, and now this is the core of their order. This is very, very not good. So I'm going to even look to strikeouts here. Let's see, Ks per 9, 9.4. What about for Baez? I know Baez has just been on fire as of late because he had such a high ERA to begin the season. Now it's down to 3.5. He also has the same sort of Ks per 9. I think we're going to let Koda Glover face Baez. I think we're going to do a mound visit, though. 1-0 is the count. That's not good. That's going to be an out? Yes, it is an out. A diving catch in foul territory for the first out of the inning, and the runner stays at second, which is very, very important. Now we've got the switch hitter in Santana. That was a hard hit ball. I do think I'm going to go to Baez here just to get 2 more outs. 1-2 is the count to Santana. And he strikes out. That is the second out of the inning. 2 outs in the 8th here. Oh, 1-0 is the count. And there's a drive into left field. And the Tampa Bay Rays, off the bat of Evan Longoria, have taken the lead. That's going to be a ground ball to first. So the inning is over, but 2 runs for the Rays. And things are not looking good now. Wilmer Flores is scheduled to lead off the inning. Interestingly, they have Chris Archer closing the game, just in case something does happen. Baez, I don't know what we'll do. Let's just start the inning, though. So it is 2-2 is the count. Wilmer Flores strikes out to begin the inning, and now it'll be Urena, and he gets oh, God, he caught it. Are you kidding? Oh. And that'll be Zunino. 1-2 is the count, and that flips out to center. That's going to do it. So the Seattle Mariners, it was a good game. Obviously, Kershaw pitched his heart out, and we just couldn't quite do it. 2-0 is the final. Kershaw did so well, 6 2/3 innings. Probably could have gone longer if he wasn't on short rest, and, definitely kind of kicking myself a little bit for that. But, we did the best we could. Our bullpen, unfortunately coughed it up. It was just 1 home run. That's all it took. But it was definitely a good game, a good season at least. I don't know that I really count that as making the playoffs, but, technically it is, making the playoffs. So at least, we had a game in there that was, high leverage, and we'll get a little X mark here to say that we were in the playoffs finally. Since 2001, we hadn't been in it. And, certainly we've got a lot to look forward to. We've got, Darvish for another couple years. His ratings are still pretty good. We've got Hernandez another 2 years. Pretty controllable contract for both of them. And then otherwise, we've got some young arms like De Leon, and then a lot of young bats. People like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. really hoping that, next year they can be a part of the team. I think he's really looking ready to be in the big leagues. So that's going to be something to look forward to in the future. But for now, that is going to do it for our Seattle Mariners. They finish 92-70. They make it to the wild card game and lose a heartbreaker in Tampa Bay.